Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Kutch today to lay the foundation stone of a 30,000 megawatt hybrid renewable energy park, 4 seawater desalination plants and a modern milk processing plant. Prime Minister Narendra Modi leads the nation in paying homage to Iron Man Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on his death anniversary. Says Patel laid the foundation of a strong and prosperous India, will always inspire us to protect the unity, integrity and sovereignty of the country. "18 farmer organizations meet Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, extend support to the new farm laws. Tomar reiterates government's readiness to talk to farmers. BJP says opposition spreading misinformation. Centre issues guidelines for COVID-19 vaccination drive by states. Only pre-registered beneficiaries will be vaccinated in accordance with the prioritization. No on-the-spot registrations. States asked to avoid mixing of different COVID-19 vaccines in the field. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bangladesh counterpart Sheikh Hasina to hold virtual summit on Thursday. Both the leaders to hold comprehensive discussions on the entire spectrum of bilateral ties. The talks will also focus on further strengthening cooperation in the post-COVID-19 period. United Kingdom Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab is in New Delhi on a 4-day state visit. Held talks with External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar on bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest and will meet other ministers also on various issues. The Electoral College formally declares Joe Biden as nation's next president, giving him a solid electoral majority of 306 votes and confirming his victory in the last month's election. The state-by-state voting took on the added importance this year because of President Trump's refusal to concede that he had lost. United States begins the first round of COVID-19 vaccination. Singapore too gives green signal to Pfizer vaccine. Free vaccination for all citizens to begin by end of December. Good morning, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. In the next half an hour, we'll get an account of everything that's been making it to the headlines. Our top story first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Kutch in Gujarat today, where he will lay the foundation stone of development projects. Now, these projects include desalination plants, hybrid renewable energy park and a fully automated milk processing and packaging plant. We get you details in this report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the Kutch district in Gujarat will be an important one as it will pave the way for better development of the region.
Reiterating India's commitment on reducing carbon emission, at the same time achieving the 175 gigawatt renewable energy target, government is taking various steps. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting the Kutch district and he will lay the foundation stone of the hybrid renewable energy park. Now, this energy park is one of the biggest energy park in the country.
30 gigawatts of renewable energy will be generated here. Spread over 72,600 hectares of land, the park will have a dedicated hybrid park zone for wind and solar energy storage, as well as exclusive zone for wind park activities. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of a desalination plant at Mandvi in Kutch. This desalination plant will transform seawater to potable drinking water. With a capacity of 10 crore litres per day, it will strengthen the water security in Gujarat by complementing the Narmada grid and the Sauni network, as also the treated wastewater infrastructure. It will be an important milestone for sustainable and affordable water resource harvesting in the country. Nearly 8 lakh people across the regions of Mundra, Lakhpat, Abdasa and Nakhatrana talukas will receive desalinated water from this plant, which will also help in sharing the surplus to upstream districts of Bachau, Rapad and Gandhidham. It is one of the 5 upcoming desalination plants in Gujarat, besides those at Dehaj, Dwarka, Ghoga Bhavnagar and Gir Somnath. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of a fully automated milk processing and packaging plant at Sarhad Dairy in Anjar in Kutch. The plant will cost 121 crore rupees and will have the capacity to process 2 lakh litres of milk per day. The Prime Minister will also undertake a visit to the White Run, followed by witnessing a cultural program. Prime Minister's visit to the White Run of Kutch will promote tourism activities in the region.
Earthquake at the Kutch region in Gujarat, this place has now transformed drastically. It was the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, have propelled the economic activity in this region via tourism point of view, and at the same time he also helped to socially uplift the people residing in this region. Right now I am standing at the run of Kutch. Now this place once upon a time was a barren land, but it was the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi now turned this isolated place into an international tourist destination. With my colleague Abhishek Singh and camera person Rajesh Riki, this is Shishir Shilar for Doordarshan from Run of Kutch.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid homage to Iron Man Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on his death anniversary today. Prime Minister Modi tweeted, and I quote him, "I pay tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on his death anniversary. He is the Iron Man who laid the foundation of a strong, empowered and prosperous India. His path will always inspire us to protect unity, integrity and sovereignty of the country." Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also paid floral tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on his death anniversary at Hazratganj in Lucknow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also condoled the demise of eminent aerospace scientist and Padma Vibhushan awardee Rodham Narasimha, who passed away yesterday. Prime Minister Modi said, and I quote him, "Shri Rodham Narasimha personified the best of India's tradition of knowledge and inquiry. He was an outstanding scientist, passionate about leveraging the power of science and innovation for India's progress. Pained by his demise, condolences to his family and friends. Om Shanti." Farmers' protest against new farm laws continues for the 20th day today at various borders of Delhi. Security has been enhanced at border areas including Singh border and Jaishankar Khera at Rajasthan-Haryana border with multi-layered barricades. Rapid Action Force and additional forces have also been deployed at Singh border between Delhi and Haryana. Although farmers continue their protest, there were many who met Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar. Farmers' delegation from Maharashtra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar met Tomar and expressed their support for government's efforts towards doubling farmers' income by 2022, as well as opening up of the agriculture sector to market competition. They submitted a memorandum of their demands that include encouraging use of technology by reducing import rates on equipment, cutting GST on pesticides and ensuring all farm produce falls in lowest GST slab. Expressing satisfaction with the meeting, Agriculture Minister said that the ball is in the court of the protesting farmers now. The government is and has been open for clause-by-clause discussion of the three laws with all the groups. And up next, we'll take a look at the update on COVID-19 situation from across the country. 34,477 recoveries were made yesterday, taking the cumulative total of recovered patients to 94,22,636. With this, the recovery rate currently stands at 95.12%. India's three-pronged strategy of test, trace and treat is proving to be a success. The fatality rate has dropped to 1.45% with 1,43,709 deaths recorded so far. The number of active COVID-19 cases in India stands at 3,39,820, which is 3.43% of the total cases reported so far. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, that is ICMR, a total of 15,55,60,655 samples for COVID-19 have been tested so far. Now, of these, 9,93,665 samples were tested yesterday. The centre has issued guidelines for COVID-19 vaccination drive, vaccinating 100 to 200 people in each session per day, monitoring them for 30 minutes after administering the shots for any adverse event, and allowing only one beneficiary at a time are among the guidelines. The ministry has marked 30 crore population for the phase 1 of the large-scale immunization. The virus vaccine will be offered first to healthcare workers, frontline workers and to persons above 50 years of age, followed by persons younger than 50 years of age with associated comorbidities based on evolving pandemic situation. Healthcare workers include doctors, nurses, paramedics working both in the government as well as private hospitals, while frontline workers include personnel belonging to 3 services, paramilitary forces, municipal workers and state police force will be vaccinated in the first phase. Immunization will be undertaken by a team of 5 members. Registration for the vaccine will be done only on CoWIN website. Besides, 12 photo identity documents, including voter ID, Aadhaar card, driving license, passport and pension document will be required for self-registration on digital platform. The centre, in its COVID-19 vaccine guidelines, has directed states to ensure safe injection practices during the vaccination program. India's mass vaccination drive that will begin once the front-runner candidates, some of which are under regulatory review, will be available for emergency use. The vaccine can be administered by doctors, nurses and ANM, that is auxiliary nursing midwifery. Assistance will be taken from NCC students as well as Gram Panchayat members. Foreign Secretary of United Kingdom Dominic Raab is on a 4-day visit to India. Raab is currently holding talks with Minister of External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar on bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest. Later in the day, he will also have official meetings with Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar and Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. As part of the visit, Raab will travel to Bengaluru, where he will meet Chief Minister of Karnataka on Thursday. India and the United Kingdom enjoy strategic partnership since 2004, which has been marked by regular high-level exchanges and growing cooperation in diverse areas. Raab's visit will pave way for further strengthening of the partnership across trade, defence, climate, migration, mobility, education and health sectors in the post-COVID, post-Brexit context. A virtual summit will be held between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bangladesh counterpart Sheikh Hasina on December 17th. During the summit, the two leaders will hold comprehensive discussions on the entire spectrum of the bilateral relationship, including further strengthening cooperation in the post-COVID era. India and Bangladesh have continued to maintain regular exchanges at the highest level. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina paid an official visit to India in October 2019. Prime Minister Modi delivered a video message on the historic occasion of Mujib Borsho in March 2020. Both the leaders have remained in regular touch during COVID-19 pandemic. Moving on to news from across the world, Democrat Joe Biden on Monday won the state-by-state electoral college vote that formally determines the U.S. presidency, all but ending President Donald Trump's floundering campaign to overturn his loss in the November 3rd election. California, the most populous state, delivered its 55 electoral votes to Biden on Monday afternoon, officially putting the former vice president over the 270 votes needed to secure the White House. Based on November's results, Biden earned 306 electoral college votes to Trump's 232. And confirming his victory, U.S. President-elect Joe Biden said that together with the Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, we have earned 306 electoral votes, well exceeding the 270 electoral votes needed to secure victory. He said that at that time, President Trump called the Electoral College tally at a landslide, and by his own standards, these numbers represented a clear victory then, and they do so now as well.
Together, Vice President-elect Harris and I earned 306 electoral votes, well exceeding the 270 electoral votes needed to secure victory. 306 electoral votes is the same number of electoral votes that Donald Trump and Vice President Pence received when they won in 2016. These numbers represented a clear victory then, and I respectfully suggest they do so now.
In what would mean Biden's victory to India, our Washington correspondent Nick Harper enlightens us on this. He says that the Doe's victory depicts further strengthening of the Indo-US bilateral ties. Take a look.
It is interesting to note that it was a sizable bloc that voted for Joe Biden. And the thinking is that because he had Kamala Harris with her Indian heritage as his vice president, they were looking to that Harris-Biden team and thinking that this could potentially be a pair who could work for them, who could try and push forward the agenda of the Indian-American community. So Joe Biden has signalled that it is a community and the country of India that he wants to work closely with.
The US has issued sanctions against its fellow NATO ally, Turkey, over its deployment of a Russian-made missile defense system acquired last year. The US says Russia's S-400 surface-to-air missile system is incompatible with NATO technology and a threat to Euro-Atlantic alliance. The sanctions announced by the State Department yesterday target Turkey's weapons procurement sector. The move was swiftly condemned by officials in Turkey and Russia. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has hit back, saying neither sanctions from the United States nor the European Union would deter Turkey from defending its rights. Erdogan said that Turkey expects the United States to support it and not sanction it over its purchase of the missiles. Ankara acquired the Russian system in mid-2019 and says that they pose no threat to its allies in the NATO military alliance. But Washington has long threatened sanctions and last year removed Turkey from an F-35 jet program. And up next, we get to the global update on the COVID-19 situation. As of now, more than 7 crore 31 lakh COVID-19 cases have been reported worldwide, with over 16 lakh 27,000 deaths. Over 5 crore 13 lakh people have recovered from the virus. The United States continues to remain the worst hit country by the pandemic so far, with the highest number of infections. The US has recorded over 1 crore 69 lakh cases of the virus, with death toll surging past 3 lakh 8,000. Brazil follows US in terms of death toll with 1,81,000 deaths. The first shots were given in the American mass vaccination campaign on Monday, opening a new chapter in the battle against COVID-19 pandemic, which has killed more people in the United States. That is over 300,000, and that is more than any other country, and has taken a particularly devastating toll on people of color. Shortly in the morning, the new Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine was administered in Queens, the first known inoculation since the vaccine was authorized by Food and Drug Administration late last week. A majority of the first injections were administered to those in high risk, such as healthcare workers, on Monday. The US government is aiming to distribute the first wave of 2.9 million vaccine doses to 636 locations nationwide by the end of the week. Frontline workers in the state of California on Monday began receiving the first dose of the new COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine, with an emergency room nurse in Los Angeles declaring that help is on the way. The nurse, Kim Taylor of Kaiser Permanente, received the first shot of the vaccine's 2 doses. Her inoculation was observed by California Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, and also several members of the media. Also, Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller received COVID-19 vaccine at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center on Monday after a healthcare worker administered the shot, as television cameras recorded the moment. The COVID-19 vaccine, developed by Pfizer and German partner BioNTech, was authorized by US regulators for emergency use late on Friday, and the first shipments were sent out on Sunday. And London will move into England's highest tier of COVID-19 restrictions, the British government said on Monday, citing an exponential rise in infection rates as one of the world's richest cities struggle to contain the disease. Health Secretary Matt Hancock also said that more than 1,000 cases of a new variant of the virus had been identified, mainly in southeast England, where the variant may be associated with a rapid rise in infection levels. Earlier this month, the government implemented a 3-tiered system of restrictions in England to try to keep a second wave of the virus under control after a month-long national lockdown. More than 40% of the citizens were placed in highest risk category. However, London is currently only in the second highest tier of restrictions. The tougher Tier 3 restrictions, which will see bars and restaurants close except for takeaway orders and deliveries, will come into force from Wednesday. United Kingdom has a total of over 18,69,000 COVID-19 cases with over 64,000 deaths. German biotech firm CureVac has begun last phase of clinical trial of its COVID-19 vaccine candidate, CVnCoV. The study will enroll 36,500 participants and Latin America with a view to generating data to support approval of the messenger RNA vaccine next year. BioNTech, working with Pfizer and Moderna, have validated the concept of using messenger RNA to provide protection against COVID-19. The trial will assess the safety and efficacy in adults of various ages, expected to include more than 35,000 participants in Europe and Latin America. CureVac's vaccine candidate is based on so-called messenger RNA, a technology that has been shown separately by Moderna and an alliance of BioNTech and Pfizer to be about 95% effective, far above the expectations. The Pfizer compound was the first to be launched in Western countries, winning emergency approval in the United States and Britain, among other nations. And in sports, host France will play three-time winners New Zealand in the standout match of the 2023 Rugby World Cup pool phase after the draw was made in Paris yesterday. The countries have met each other 7 times in World Cup, including in the 1987 and 2011 finals, with the All Blacks winning on both the occasions. Holders South Africa will face Ireland and 2003 champions England take on Japan, who hosted the last World Cup in 2019, and Argentina, who beat New Zealand for the first time in their history in November. And changing track from sports now, skin problems tend to increase in the cold weather conditions. Up next in the report, take a look at how to take care of your skin during the winter months.
Cold and dry weather can prove harsh for your skin and cause many skin problems.
Winter season is considered to be one of the best seasons. It's a healthy season, it's a very enjoyable season. But winter season is also brings certain problems in the skin. It generally causes dryness of the skin, and particularly in people who are elderly, whose skin are a little compromised, and also in some people who have certain skin diseases like psoriasis. The disease gets aggravated. A disease condition like ichthyosis, and then also the atopic dermatitis, and then some other diseases of the skin also can get aggravated during winter.
It is important to know what can be done to prevent the problems of skin in the cold weather and how to take care of skin during winter months.
Clean your skin thoroughly every day with soap and water. Moisturize the skin with glycerin and water, which can be mixed and kept in the bathroom, and it should be applied. It's very important that it should be applied soon after bath, before the skin dries up, so it captures the moisture. One could also use coconut oil to keep the skin moisturized, and sometimes people have cracked heels and dry skin on the hands and feet, where they can apply Vaseline also. It's also important that you clean your hair also regularly to prevent dandruff formation. Cleanliness of the skin can prevent up to 80% of the skin diseases. So it's very important that skin should be kept clean and healthy, and also you should have a nutritious, balanced, healthy diet.
Maintaining adequate hydration and proper skin care may help to keep away skin problems and get a bright and glowing skin during winters. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
All right, on that note of the wintry tip, we'll end this bulletin here. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.